My name is Scott Green with the Green Door Group. We're here today with John Dawson, insurance agent for State Farm. This is the real estate rundown. And John, I had a couple of questions for you today. First of all, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time today to be here. A couple of questions for you is, what is the importance of having homeowners insurance?
The main reason it's so important is because most people like me, their home is their largest asset, and they want to protect it from the unexpected, obviously, fires, heavy winds or tornadoes, massive water leak that could, just wreak havoc and run up some big repair bills. So that's the main reason. It's a safety net to where if something does happen, I'm protected. I'm only out my deductible. And so the insurance company comes in and helps pay for that. So,
what different types of coverage are there?
There's actually 4 different types of coverage on a homeowner's policy. The first one, the main one, we call it coverage A, is the dwelling. And that's, the building, the structure itself, okay? And then secondly, we have what we call dwelling extension. Some companies call it other structures or something, but that's any other structures that are on your property that aren't a part of the dwelling, like fences, a shed, a detached garage, something like that. So, and then the third coverage is personal property or your possessions, your clothes, your furniture, appliances, even all the tools you got out in the garage, Scott. All of that falls under the personal property coverage. And then lastly is liability coverage, which if something happens on your property normally, but they find you liable for it, then your homeowner's insurance can come in and help pay for that. But I want to mention something that's not covered, that the older I get, the more and more people don't realize this, but it's rising water. Your homeowner's policy does not cover rising water, like flood water. You have to get a whole different policy for that, and it's usually through the government, through FEMA is where you have to purchase that. But anybody that they're concerned about maybe their house is kind of in a low spot, I always refer them to FEMA to get a quote for actual flood insurance.
So all flood insurance then comes through the government, so to speak?
Yes, it's actually through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, which is under the FEMA umbrella.
So any standard insurance company don't write any kind of flood insurance?
They might do it through some other entities, but not like State Farm or not the big ones.
Right.
They don't underwrite that, no. So.
Okay. How can insurance impact the home buying process?
There's several ways, but I think there's one specific that really impacts the home buying process. And most of us that buy a home, as you know, being in real estate, not everybody, but most, they're going to buy a property and they're kind of maxing out what they can afford. And so when they're running their projections, a lot of times, they're pretty close to that point where they can't go over as far as monthly payment. They won't be approved for it because their income to debt ratio, all that stuff. And so, they project that maybe their home insurance is going to be around $2,000 a year, for example, and then they start getting quotes and it's $4,500. Well, that's over $200 more a month, and sometimes that goes over that threshold to where it breaks the deal, and nobody wants that, obviously. So I think that's the biggest way it impacts the home buying process.
Well, I know you're located here in Amarillo. Are you limited as to where you can write insurance?
Personally, I can write, in all state of Texas and New Mexico. So, but yeah, I can't go into Oklahoma or Colorado, but they allow me dual state license. So, yep.
Well, John, I really appreciate your time here today.
Thank you.
Hopefully this is helpful to our viewers. We would invite you all to follow us and hopefully this has been helpful to you and you've learned something from it. We here at the Green Door Group are here to help you with all your real estate needs, and John Dawson is here to help you with any insurance needs you might have. Please give us a call. The numbers are at the bottom.
Thank you.